Hello, my name is James Batchelor and this is the new Mazda MX-30, Mazda's first full production electric car. Now it might surprise you to learn this is an all-electric car because the MX-30 looks just like the rest of the Mazda range. With its strong Kodo design language, it looks like nothing else on the road. There are some unique characteristics with this car though. There's the coupe-like roofline. It looks particularly good with this contrasting colour, and you might think this car is a two-door coupe, but it isn't. A really nice reference to Mazda's heritage are the doors. Now the freestyle doors are just like the ones you found on the Mazda RX-8 coupe. The last thing to mention is the name. Now MX, Mazda has always used the MX name as a new chapter in its history, so it's only appropriate then that this, as being Mazda's first all-electric car, it gets the MX-30 name. Now this car may be breaking new ground for Mazda, but it's still very clearly a Mazda product in here. And by that, I mean there's a strong focus on build quality and functionality. Everything you touch feels really good. And there's lots of cubbies in here and storage places, such as the door bins. There's a huge area down here. There's a 12-volt socket as well, 2 USB charging ports, and there's even a 3-pin socket there, so you can charge up your laptop should you need to. Speaking of cubbies, there are a couple of cup holders here which neatly reveal, and a huge storage area there as well. Now there's also some really nice touches in here in the MX-30 which differs this car from other Mazda models in the range. There's a secondary screen down here for your heating and ventilation controls. There's also a strong focus on sustainability in here. The tops of the doors, they're made from 100% recycled bottles, and you may notice uses of cork in here on the inside of the door pulls and on the center console. And that's a really nice reference to Mazda's heritage as well, because when the company was founded in 1920, it didn't build cars, but it actually made cork. Right, that's enough of the chatter. Let's get this car out on the road. The MX-30 is powered by a 35.5 kilowatt-hour battery and 143 brake horsepower electric motor. Now that battery may sound a little bit on the small side compared to some other electric cars, but there's a very good reason for that. Mazda has deliberately minimalised its impact on the environment by not building and producing cars with big battery packs. It's called right sizing, and of course a smaller battery pack is quicker to charge up as well. Now how much range are you going to get from the battery pack? Well, Mazda claims between 124 and 165 miles on a full charge, and as for charging times, it'll take just over 30 minutes from a 50 kilowatt rapid charger. Now if you plug this car into a 7 kilowatt home wall box, you're looking at just over 6 hours. And if you visit friends and family and they don't have a home wall box, you need to rely upon a 3-pin socket, where you're going to be looking around 15 hours. Now aside from how this car is powered, the MX-30 feels typically Mazda, and by that I mean it is very good fun to drive. Now the steering is fast and accurate, and the way this car changes direction is really impressive, particularly for an electric SUV. Now Mazda has fitted this car with its electric G vectoring control plus system, which means the motor is constantly adjusting the torque sent to the wheels to aid cornering and traction. And you really wouldn't know it was there, just that it translates to a very agile and responsive car. Now electric SUVs, they traditionally feel very heavy cars, but the MX-30 doesn't feel like that. It feels really rather light, and combined with the steering and the vectoring control, it means that this car does change direction surprisingly quickly. It is a fun car to drive. Now, not only is this car fun to drive, it's also very comfortable. Now, Mazda has fitted this car with pretty soft suspension, so it means that it just sort of soaks up bumps in the road. Now, it doesn't translate to loose, soft body control. It's a really nice blend of great cornering ability and also a comfortable ride. Mazda has also fitted this car with regenerative brakes. They're controlled by little paddles behind the steering wheel. If you tug on the left one, you increase the level of brake regeneration. What that does is the energy that would normally be lost through braking, it actually pumps it back into the battery, thereby improving the range. Now, for many people, the Mazda MX-30 will be their first ever electric car. So let's bust some myths, shall we? Firstly, electric cars are slow. No, they're not. Because the amount of torque is always available from an electric motor, it means that whenever you put your foot on the throttle, the car instantly goes. In the case of the MX-30, it goes very quickly indeed. Myth number 2, electric cars are expensive to top up. No, they're not. If you have a home wall box and you plug this car into off-peak times, a full charge of this car is actually remarkably cheap and far cheaper than filling up a car with petrol or diesel. Myth number 3, electric cars have a short range. Well, they don't really. When you consider the average daily commute is 30 miles, the MX-30's range of between 124 and 160 miles is actually more than enough for the average person. So there we are then, that is the new Mazda MX-30. For any more information and to take a test drive, visit your local Snows Mazda dealership in Portsmouth and Chichester.